Hello everybody, this is Little Ninja, and welcome back to another episode of Ninja's Empire. In the last episode, we once again didn't do any work around the base. What we did do was go to the end and collect just absolutely tons of all kinds of loot. And a bunch of elytra, some dragon heads as well, and over a stack of shulker boxes. Well, I say a stack, it's 64, they don't actually stack. But in this episode, I have a bunch of small projects that I need to do. So, for one, mob spawning on the roofs is actually becoming a real problem because of a project that I have been working on in between episodes, here and there, whenever I get a chance. And as you can see, at some point a creeper blew up in here. I don't know when, but yeah, so that corner of the barn is missing. We've got to fix that. And I had my snow golem right there, and he escaped and went and disappeared. I can't find him anywhere. And that's the snow golem, by the way, that I used to get the snowballs for the gold farm in the nether. And so what I think I'm going to do is on this roof and that roof are the only roofs that are spawnable. I'm going to put redstone down on all of the spawnable spaces because that stops mob spawning, and you won't be able to see it from down here at all. So I've got to lay down that and fix up this barn, and I'll be right back. So this roof is all fixed up and spawn proof as well, and now we just have to put back the snow golem right there. And let's see, so when you stand right here, you can just aim up like this and endlessly mine absolutely tons of snow extremely quickly. So yeah, I don't need those. But now I've got to do that roof as well. And then also I noticed in here, and it's absolutely a wreck, by the way, we're going to clean this up in this episode today as well. But there's this, and it must be lightning is just striking my builds left and right and burning everything. I'm about to turn it off, like, if I could. I don't actually know if you can turn lightning off. I'm sure you can somehow. I just don't know how. But yeah, it's really quite annoying. So I'm going to spawn proof that roof, and then I've got to fix that hole as well. So this roof is now done, and I also fixed the hole on the inside here. And the next thing I need to do is sort out all this stuff and find a place to put it. And then I want to take down this trash disposal system for the fish farm and replace the ceiling there. I'm going to move this, make a hut for it, and put it in a permanent place. But I'll take down the trash disposal system as soon as I'm done getting rid of this trash. So yeah, where to put all this stuff? Alright, so I took care of the mess in here. The fish farm is gone. Thank goodness, that thing was an eyesore. And now we have another problem. This thing here. Originally, I thought it was a little too high to build a tower, like it would look sort of, you know, straight and toothpick-like. But if you just take a look from out here, come on now. There we go. Let's see if we can fly off a little ways. There we go. If you take a look from out here, it actually doesn't look so bad. Like, if you can imagine, you know, maybe 2 or 3 towers around in here, about that same height and size. Yeah, it wouldn't look too bad. So what I'm going to do is bring this up just at this diameter, all the way up with the same style, going up through, and then do a few more bands like this, sort of like it is over there, just bands like this to break it up, and then up to the top of that, and leave it with the same top, because obviously this can't have a roof because the doors need skylight above them. So I've got to go and craft up an absolute ton of spruce planks and get some smooth sandstone as well, and spruce logs, and then build this thing way up. It's 67 blocks, I think, from the top of this one to the top of that one. So yeah, it's quite a long ways, and it's fairly monotonous. So I'll go ahead and get started. But now I'm thinking, what are we going to do with this pillar right here? So it comes up from the inside corner down there, but there's no point in running it up to the top. And how do we end it? Well, if we go in here, we'll actually see that we do have quite a bit of space. There only has to be 1 block of skylight above these doors, which means we've got an extra 2 blocks here to work with. So what I thought we could do is bring it in and up at this diameter here, and then go up part way and step in again, And I think not only would that help with that problem or solve that problem, but it would also be quite a bit more aesthetically pleasing rather than just a straight line up, to have just little steps in, even if it's just one block here and then, well, like one down here and then one maybe a third of the way up. A little bit like that building there where it steps in part way up. Yeah, I think that would look a lot better and it would solve that problem. So that's what I'm going to do. So I've run into a bit of an issue here. On this side, we've already run out of space. We don't have the 2-block gap that we do on the other sides. And, oh, I remember why. It was because, so I built the tower around the villager trading center, and that is an odd number of blocks wide, and the iron farm is an even number of blocks wide, so I just made it like a little bit off center. And you would never have noticed until I went to do this. So I have a couple options. One is I can add a layer of blocks on the outside of this and move this wall out 1 block, which would be quite a bit of work. So like I would have to leave the wall there so that it would look normal on the inside, but then I would, it would be basically 2 blocks thick so that it would look normal on the outside as well. The other option is I could just step it in here, run it up a little bit, and then instead of stepping it in, round off the corners like this, because the doors, so they're right there, and they only need 1 block of light above them, which means I could knock off these corners and basically make the tower sort of rounded, and then it would taper in and go up, and then it would flare out again at the top where that farm is, and it would make it look sort of like the shape of a mage's tower or something. Now that I think about it, I could actually do both, so that the difference between the rounded part and the square part would be more extreme. I think I'm going to do that actually. So that's quite a few hours of monotonous work, and you guys are going to get tired of progress updates. So what I'm going to do is just crack on and do a whole bunch of it at once. Okay, so I just built up the first step in and cover all the spawnable spaces with redstone, and then came up about 15 blocks and then started on the tapering in towards the rounded shape. And that is actually as far as we'll be able to go with that. And looking at it, I'm wondering if that's enough. Like, it's gonna look, these are still gonna be pretty wide flat walls. So what we could do is bring that out. So like, let's see, still have these corners squared, but bring it out something like, let's see, over 2 and then here, something like that, and have this just not have this basically, and then come out like 2 and then have it out like that again, and then back in, something like that, and then have this just go straight down to the base, to where the actual circle of the tower is as wide as it is at the base, but then so like you still have corners coming up part way, if that makes any sense. So basically like this, where it curves out and then goes straight down. And I would have liked to have had this out another block here to make it a little more round. But here's the thing, if we go down here, it would come down right on top of these stairs, which wouldn't really look right. And if we ran it all the way down, here we could just run it into the roof. But over here, like on these sides, we'd have to run it all the way to the ground, and I don't think that would look very good. So I just remove these stairs temporarily, they'll go back, and then those will obviously go out a little bit and then go back in. And let's see here. This also doesn't look very good, like you can barely see that it comes out, like that would be a band going straight up. I think what I might do is on these posts right here, do the, let's see, spruce log like this, without the smooth sandstone there. Just the spruce log here, and then on this side too as well. What am I? English. Anyway, so yeah, that'll look okay. I really wish the base had been a little bigger, but when I built it, I wasn't thinking this far ahead, and there's no way I'm changing it now. So we'll just work with what we have. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and build the main circle, go the whole way around, and bring these down, and then show you what that's like. All right, so I've done quite a bit of it, and I actually built the section from the crosshairs up, but I built it down here, and the thing is, when you're down there looking up, that fence hides quite a lot of that taper, and so it looked really odd. And so what I did was took that up about 8 blocks and just knocked off the corner and then tapered in from there, and that is as circular as it's going to get. and I went all the way, and actually, when I went all the way around, I discovered that the back side, the back wall there, was also closer to the iron farm, so I had to extend that the same as I did on the wall over there. So now, basically, it's going to go up straight at that circumference until it reaches the iron farm, and then it's going to flare out and go up to the top. So I'm at the point now where I'm about ready to build the top, and I was thinking I could either have it like a post that just goes straight up with a flat plate on top, and then have like where the uprights are, there would be beams coming out underneath the floor for like supports, or I could actually curve it back out again, and I think the curved out look would look a little better. So it's going to have to start there and then kind of curve out like that, and then back up again, and then just have a flat top. And I was also debating whether or not I wanted to put the stairs in going up through, because looking at it from back here, that does look a little bit like a very long straight section of building. What I might do though, instead of doing the stairs, is just to take out a strip of the spruce wood and replace it with dark oak planks, so that like there is still there's a color variation, but there's no depth variation. I think it would work better than trying to use stairs where it's rounded there. So I just added in a dark oak ring going around there, and we'll go off to have a look at it in a little bit. But first, I just had an idea actually. Instead of making this a solid, like a bowl to hold up this iron farm, I thought about, why don't I, let's see here. So the doors are from the corner, which is right here. They come out 4, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can go from here and make a band across, and it wouldn't affect that iron farm at all. Well, I could just look at this one that's identical. So yeah, so like if I cover up the space here beside the door, it's not going to do anything. So I can make a band that is, let's see, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 blocks wide going across the middle.